The St. Louis Blues have officially reassigned forward Otto Stenberg to their American Hockey League affiliate, the Springfield Thunderbirds. This move, recently announced by the team, directly impacts both the NHL and AHL rosters, creating a ripple effect within the organization. Stenberg, who was initially recalled on December 15th, will now return to Springfield, where he began the season. This decision by Blues management serves multiple strategic purposes, primarily to clear a roster spot on the 23-man NHL roster, and to facilitate Stenberg's continued development within the AHL system. The immediate impetus for this reassignment appears to be the impending return of injured winger Dylan Holloway. Holloway, a 24-year-old arbitration-eligible pending restricted free agent, has been sidelined with an ankle injury but has recently been observed skating, signaling an imminent activation from the injured reserve list. His return necessitates an open roster spot, and Stenberg's reassignment effectively provides this. Holloway's contributions last season included 63 points in 77 games, and he had accumulated 17 points in 34 contests this season before his injury, making his return a significant boost for the Blues' offensive capabilities. Otto Stenberg's recent stint with the St. Louis Blues marked his first recall to the National Hockey League. During this period, he participated in 18 games, experiencing the demanding pace and physicality of professional hockey at its highest level. Throughout these games, Stenberg averaged approximately 14 minutes of ice time per game. Initially, his role was more limited, but as his time with the club progressed, he began to earn increased trust from the coaching staff. This was evident in his final appearances, where he saw considerable time on special teams units, a clear indication of his growing confidence and the coaching staff's belief in his abilities in high-pressure situations. Despite not registering significant offensive statistics during this recall, the experience itself is invaluable for a young prospect. He gained first-hand exposure to NHL systems, travel schedules, and the competitive environment, all of which contribute to his long-term growth as a professional athlete. This initial taste of NHL action, while brief, provided critical insights into the adjustments required to establish himself as a full-time NHL player. His time on special teams, in particular, highlights an area where he demonstrated capability, suggesting a foundational understanding of strategic play that can be further refined. The reassignment allows Stenberg to take these lessons and apply them in a consistent, high-volume role in the AHL, which is often considered the final proving ground before a sustained NHL career. The organization's commitment to his development remains clear, viewing this move as a strategic step rather than a setback. It allows him to play significant minutes in all situations, something that would be harder to guarantee with a full NHL roster. Stenberg's reassignment to the Springfield Thunderbirds provides a crucial opportunity for his continued development within the organization's system. This move is particularly timely as it allows him to play consistently in the AHL, especially during the upcoming Olympic break, and period where NHL schedules often become less predictable. The Blues management views this as the optimal strategy for fostering his growth, emphasizing the need for him to produce more consistently at the AHL level. Prior to his NHL recall, Stenberg had recorded 8 points in 21 games with Springfield, a respectable but not dominant start for a highly touted prospect. The expectation is that he will now assume a more central role with the Thunderbirds, becoming a key offensive player as long as he remains in the AHL. This increased responsibility is designed to accelerate his adaptation to professional hockey, refining his offensive instincts and overall game management. The immediate roster implications for the St. Louis Blues are straightforward. Stenberg's reassignment creates an open spot on the 23-man active roster. This vacancy is almost certainly intended for Dylan Holloway, who is expected to be activated from the injured reserve list in the very near future. Holloway's return provides a veteran presence and offensive production that the team has missed, making the strategic decision to reassign Stenberg a practical one for immediate NHL needs. This move demonstrates the delicate balance NHL teams must strike between developing their future talent and maintaining a competitive roster in the present. Regarding Stenberg's prospect status, he is widely regarded as one of the St. Louis organization's most promising young players. This assessment is supported by independent scouting reports and prospect rankings. The Athletic's Corey Pronman, a respected voice in prospect evaluation, ranked Stenberg as the 5th best prospect within the Blues system. Similarly, Elite Prospects, another prominent analytical platform, placed him 8th on their list. Both sources consistently project Stenberg as a future middle six forward in the NHL, indicating a player who can contribute reliably in a significant role, though perhaps not as a top-line offensive catalyst. However, maintaining this projection hinges critically on his ability to demonstrate consistent scoring and overall impact at the AHL level. The league serves as a proving ground, and strong performance there validates the high expectations placed upon him. The organization's decision to send Stenberg back to the AHL underscores a philosophy where sustained development takes precedence over sporadic NHL appearances. While his NHL stint provided valuable exposure, a more consistent role in Springfield offers the chance to refine specific aspects of his game without the intense pressure of NHL results. This includes improving his puck possession skills, enhancing his defensive zone awareness, and developing a more consistent offensive touch. The AHL environment allows for more practice time, detailed coaching, and the opportunity to play in all situations, including power play and penalty kill, which are crucial for a well-rounded professional. The goal is not merely to score points, but to become a more complete player capable of thriving in the NHL. The Thunderbirds will rely on him heavily, which will force him to elevate his game and take on leadership responsibilities. This period will be instrumental in determining if he can translate his potential into consistent performance, a necessary step for any prospect aiming for a permanent spot in the National Hockey League. The organization will meticulously monitor his statistics, but also his overall engagement, decision-making, and physical conditioning. This reassignment is not a demotion, but a strategic investment in his long-term future with the St. Louis Blues. This organizational strategy highlights the St. Louis Blues' commitment to comprehensive player development, even for their most highly touted prospects. It exemplifies a deliberate approach to balancing immediate NHL roster needs with the long-term growth of individual players. The strategic use of AHL assignments for crucial development phases is a cornerstone of this philosophy. Sending Stenberg to Springfield during the Olympic break, rather than keeping him as an extra forward in the NHL, demonstrates a calculated investment in his future. This decision prioritizes consistent playing time and targeted skill refinement over the marginal benefit of occasional NHL exposure, which might not offer the same developmental opportunities. It underscores that even players performing at the NHL level for a short stint may still require foundational work in a less demanding environment. For Otto Stenberg, this reassignment presents a critical opportunity to refine his offensive game and build consistency in the AHL. He will be expected to return to a prominent role with the Springfield Thunderbirds, receiving significant ice time in all situations. This includes power play and penalty kill duties, which are essential for developing a well-rounded professional game. The organization will continue to closely monitor his performance in Springfield, not just through raw statistics, but also by evaluating his decision-making, defensive responsibilities, and overall impact on the team's success. Improved production and a more consistent two-way game at the AHL level are prerequisites for any potential future NHL recalls. His ability to dominate at this tier will serve as the most direct indicator of his readiness for a permanent role with the parent club. This period is a proving ground where he must demonstrate that he has absorbed the lessons from his initial NHL call-up and applied them to elevate his play. The impending return of Dylan Holloway is expected to significantly bolster the Blues roster. As an established NHL player with arbitration eligibility, Holloway brings a level of experience and production that will immediately impact the team. His activation from injured reserve will likely fill the roster spot created by Stenberg's reassignment, providing stability and depth to the forward group. Holloway's presence is anticipated to positively affect team chemistry and offensive output, especially given his recent scoring track record. The Blues' performance in the upcoming games, with Holloway back in the lineup, will be closely scrutinized as they navigate a critical juncture of their season. His offensive contributions and veteran leadership will be crucial for the team's pursuit of a playoff position. This move solidifies the NHL roster with an experienced player while simultaneously allowing a promising prospect to further hone his skills. More broadly, this specific move serves as a clear illustration of how National Hockey League teams manage their prospect pipelines. It emphasizes the critical importance of strong performance in the American Hockey League as a fundamental stepping stone to the NHL. Prospects are not simply drafted and immediately inserted into the top league. Rather, they undergo a rigorous development process, often including multiple stints in the AHL. This league provides a competitive environment where young players can adapt to the professional game's pace, physicality, and strategic demands without the intense pressure of NHL results. Stenberg's reassignment reinforces the notion that even highly rated prospects must earn their permanent spot through consistent excellence at every level. The St. Louis Blues are signaling that while Stenberg possesses significant potential, his journey toward becoming a full-time NHL player requires further refinement and sustained success in Springfield. This strategic patience is designed to maximize his long-term potential and ensure he is fully prepared for the rigors of the NHL when his next opportunity arises. The organization's commitment to this methodical development path underscores their belief in Stenberg's future contributions to the team.